The COVID-19 vaccine offers a new lease of life, quite literally. But the world continues to watch Western countries getting jabs of the vaccine of their citizens, while developing or poor countries scramble to keep their health system alive. It's inequality condemned by the World Health Organization. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced a ministerial team that will ensure the rollout of vaccines. A relief to many whose spirits were dampened after reports that Treasury was considering raising taxes as to fund vaccine procurement. He also took the country into confidence on the funding of the vaccine acquisition.
Some people have raised issues about the financing thereof, and finance is not going to be a problem because we will be able to pay for these vaccines as we order them.
Meanwhile, the Health Ministry detailed a number of vaccines that they have set their eyes on.
Looked at various vaccines as of this stage. For example, the first vaccine that we have looked at, it's the one that is produced by the company called Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine. It has received regulatory approval in the EU and by the FDA in the US, including WHO. SAPRA filing is still currently being finalized, but it's almost concluded. This vaccine is more than 90% efficacious, and then it's a 2-dose vaccine. And then the other vaccine that we are looking at, it's the vaccine that is produced by AstraZeneca in partnership with the Oxford University. And in terms of regulatory approval, it has been approved in the EU and in the UK. And its efficacy, it's 70%, and it's a 2-dose vaccine. AstraZeneca has outsourced its production to various sites globally, and the site that we're interested in is called the Serum Institute of India. They have indicated that they are going to be giving us our first consignment of vaccines of around 1.5 million doses.
As there are talks around vaccine acquisition, the business sector would also like to tap into possible opportunities.
There's been a perception created in the market that government does not have money to fund this, the acquisition of this vaccine. And I think that, in a way, puts government in the bad light that government cannot afford a public good such as this, which is very, very important. So perhaps maybe we need to find a way of coming with a communication mechanism that then goes a long way to deal with this perception and say,
we have the elephant in the room that we have to deal with very quickly. The current representation of NEDLAC is something that we have to consider very quickly if we have to deal with challenges such as the COVID and so on and so on. Because unless we believe that the NEDLAC as it sits from 1994 until to date represents the majority of the business, then we have a problem.
President, the 3 things that young people need are: 1, opportunities. As we have heard that there are going to be various opportunities presented through the vaccine rollout, the play field must be leveled. 2, resources. Young people need resources to ensure that they maximize best use of these opportunities. 3, trust. You and the ANC need to trust young people with leading and taking South Africa forward.
It would be important to make sure that Black business owners are part of these value chains, and more so Black female entrepreneurs are included in this rollout. And one would imagine that these entities themselves would face some working capital constraints and perhaps have some capital requirements in order to support governments in this public-private partnership in rolling out the vaccines.
Meanwhile, ivermectin continues to be a contentious issue. More confusion around the medicine has been fueled by some doctors lobbying for its use. Tulare, however, says there's been no positive recommendations for the use of the drug so far in the management of COVID-19 infections by any regulatory authorities. The drug is used for the treatment in parasites in animals, and research in certain countries recommends that it could be used to manage COVID symptoms. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.